Okay, so today I want to talk about cyber essentials. Now, I know I've mentioned this in a few of my other videos in the past if you've watched them. So you may be wondering what it was for those of you that don't know. So I thought now would be a good time just to elaborate a little more on it, on exactly what it is and how you get it and why it's a good thing. So Cyber Essentials is an accreditation which is backed by the government and the National Cyber Security Centre. Always a mouthful that, always get it wrong, but I think I just got that one right. So what they've done together is put together a scheme for businesses to protect them against the most common cybersecurity threats. So what they do is basically form a survey which basically acts as a guidelines as to what you should be doing in your business to protect you against the most common security threats. So that in itself is a really good thing because it just, if nothing else, it might just act as a reminder. I mean, when we went through the process of getting Cyber Essentials, already we were doing most of it. Now we are an IT business, so I completely appreciate it. We're much more aware of things that go on out there. So we were already doing a lot of it, but even us, there was the odd little thing we needed to change. For us, it was around processes and access. We were already doing a lot of the other bits and pieces. Now, some businesses are more than likely doing some of it already. I would certainly hope so, but there may be other stuff you're not fully aware of or things you can do quite really easily to make your business more secure, which you just hadn't thought about. So it's good from that perspective. It is gaining momentum and popularity. More and more businesses and suppliers and vendors are asking about it, saying, have you got this? Because it shows that you in your business are doing the right things. And certainly a lot of, if you're chasing government contracts, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that they'll insist that you have Cyber Essentials to work directly with any kind of government, or maybe things like local councils, things like that will probably insist that you have it to be able to work with them, because otherwise they will feel they're opening themselves up to a potential security issue working with the wrong businesses which aren't doing the right thing. So yeah, so that's a rough overview of what it is and why it exists and what it gives you. Like I said, it's all about guarding you against basically the most common security threats. I'm not going to say all security threats and all cyber security threats, because it's an ever-changing landscape, but it really does give you a good foothold. It really gives you a lot of the basics to move forward in the right way. So yeah, I think businesses should look at getting it. As I touched on, why get it? It shows you're doing the right thing. It's a seal of approval. It's a tick saying, yeah, we're doing the right things. So how do you obtain it is obviously the next question. Well, what you do is you go through the process of reviewing what they're after in terms of, they have like a booklet or guide, whatever you want to call it, as to what you need to be doing. So in our opinion, what you should do is you get a copy of that, you have a look at it, fill it in where you are now, and there'll be some stuff you're already doing, which is fine. And there'll be other bits you're either not sure on, you've never heard of, or you're just simply not doing. That's also fine because it allows you to do something about it. So you come away and you look at everything that you're not doing or the areas you're weak in, and you go away, you do something about it, you put something in place. And then when you've been through all of the guide, all of the surveys, again, right, I'm now happy with that, you can then submit it across to them for review. So what does the guide / survey cover? So basically there's a number of things on there. So I'm going to give you a very rough overview here. But the main things that it covers is things like, excuse me, proves this is one take. The first thing that they'll ask you to review is the security of your internet connection. So that is basically all to do with your router and your internet access. So for example, it will mean changing, for example, default passwords on routers. It will mean stopping any external access into your router from the outside world. That's just a couple of very basic pointers there. But yes, security of your internet connection is one of the main areas you'll go through. Then there's securing your devices and the software that's on them. So that's the process of looking at things like who's got admin access, why have they got admin access, what software is installed on your computers and why. Is it up to date? Does it need to be there? Can it be removed? It's going through the process from a kind of device perspective. And then there's an element of looking at the kind of the control of access to your systems. So things like authentication, and in particular, the use of two-factor authentication where possible, which I've talked about in some other videos. So do check that out. And then there's protecting you from viruses and malware, which I hope you're all doing, but it's all about looking at what tools you're using to keep yourself secure from computer viruses, computer malware, web protection for when you're surfing the web, them kind of things. So it's documenting and reviewing and making sure you're doing them kind of things. And then the final area is kind of keeping yourself up to date, keeping computers patched. I know I recently talked about Microsoft updates and the importance of applying them. Please check my other video on that. But it ties back to that, is making sure you're regularly updating, in my opinion, ideally weekly. Obviously, Microsoft Windows updates is a really common one, but also updating all your other software as well. Might be products from Adobe, it might be products from any other external party you're using, making sure it's up to date all the time to keep you secure, basically, because the manufacturers release the updates to keep you more secure. Obviously, they do feature updates and things, but a lot of the time it's all about security. So in summary, it's to do with your security of your internet connection, security of devices, access controls, keeping you protected from viruses and malware, and finally keeping up to date, basically. There's a lot to them areas, but that's just a rough overview. There's lots and lots of, it might sound like, I don't know, I've got 50 computers in my organization. How am I going to go about this? Well, using the right tools, it's not a big deal. I mean, we were already using asset management tools for all of our devices. So we already knew what devices we had, what software was on them. So that as a starting point made it really easy for us to go, okay, what's this old piece of software here? Let's remove that. Likewise, with the antivirus, anti-malware and web protection stuff, we manage that centrally and roll that out centrally to all our computers. Most organizations working with the right IT provider, us as an example, but any decent IT services, IT support provider should be able to centrally manage these things for you and should be doing that already. So that side of things, it needn't be a real burden or hard work. A lot of it you've probably already able to get your hands on, and even the areas which you're weak on or that you're not doing, it's relatively easy to plug them gaps. It really is. It needn't be a big deal. So my advice is go check out Cyber Essentials, check it out. Can strongly consider getting your business on board with it, because if nothing else, it will just simply make you more secure. And the bonus is you'll be able to show off that you are Cyber Essentials approved and accredited, and that you're doing the right things, and people will go, okay, these guys obviously take themselves seriously. So yeah, and that's a good thing, isn't it? So that's it for today. If this video has been helpful, please do smash the like button. It really helps with the old YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel. We try to push out a couple of videos every week. And do check out our links below to our other social media profiles, such as Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you again. Oh, and sorry about the coughing.